view?
Well, I think the easiest definition, it starts off with a familiar product, if you like. Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, I think has boiled it down very, very well. He calls it software that learns from experience. Now, you can add bells and whistles to that definition, but the essence of it is the autonomous nature of AI. And, there are various forms of algorithm and so on and so forth, which are not as autonomous as AI, and therefore, in a sense, this is quite a good way of defining it. And of course, the very act of learning from experience predicates that you're learning from existing data. Now, you can synthesize data, but by and large, what AI brings on board with it are all the issues to do with historic data, biased data, and so on. So that's why people start having to think very carefully, A, about the autonomy, and B, about the data use, basically. For me, I think AI has fantastic opportunities because the analytical, predictive nature of AI is incredibly powerful. We were talking earlier in the sessions about quantum computing. Well, even where we've got to with the computing power, AI in its analytical form is amazingly powerful. I mean, for instance, some of the sustainable development goals can be solved by artificial intelligence, means by prediction, analysis, and so on. Agriculture, has already got some fantastic applications in this area. But really, because it's very varied in terms of natural language processing, for instance, fraud detection online. A lot of that, as you...
Yeah, I think it's important to have responsible innovation in this space, because I absolutely agree with you. If we do lose public trust, I don't think businesses that are trying to innovate in this area are able to really thrive.
But at the end of the day, what you're really talking about is looking at the AI life cycle. And Tech UK published something quite useful on this only a few weeks ago, talking about regulating right across the life cycle. So, for instance, you don't just go for risk assessment, because if it's risk assessment, you're making an estimate of roughly, what's going to happen, what the output is at the end of the day. But you haven't really seen it. What you've got to do is look at risk and impact up front. So you've got to make an estimate of actually, what impact that AI application is going to have. And then you've got to add audit, regular audit, because AI is a shapeshifter quite often in terms of the way that, as I say, it learns from experience. And then you've got to add monitoring as well throughout, in continuous monitoring, really, to make sure that actually the purpose for which you designed the AI, it hasn't gone completely off track. In my view, and there are some technologists who disagree with me, but not that many, it is possible to design transparency into AI. So black boxes are not really necessary anymore nowadays. They may have been in the past, but not so much now, and they don't reduce performance in anything like the way the people said they used to.
Yeah, that's my understanding as well. It's a field that moves very quickly, and I think some of the debates about black boxes that were maybe true a few years ago, the technology has improved, and also in the area of data protection and privacy, there's now a big focus on privacy-enhancing technologies.
Yeah, well, I think that's absolutely right. But one of the key principles, and you'll see this in the OECD principles, you'll see it in the EU principles, you'll see it in the ones that we put forward in our reports, is that AI should not be used for human detriment, and cybersecurity and that kind of cyber hacking is going to be a criminal offence if it isn't already, as the ways in which AI is used are used for criminal purposes, they will be. I mean, Mimi said that, legislation comes rather slowly, and she's absolutely right. We're only just beginning to grapple with the online harms aspect of algorithms and AI embedded in our social media. Well, if we see AI being used for cybercrime and hacking and so on, which is not covered by existing legislation, then that will, we have to understand it and have to regulate and criminalize accordingly.